Hey friends, welcome to our Utsuk YouTube channel. This is our part 11 video tutorial on Java programming. In this video tutorial, we're gonna cover about the arrays in Java. So let's move to the content. At first, we're gonna discuss about the arrays in Java, types of arrays, creating, initializing, and accessing an array. So arrays in Java basically means that it's a data structure that can store a fixed size collection of elements of same type. So if you want to store the different numbers of a same type in one variable, then we use array. Arrays in Java are slightly different from the C or C++ concept, as arrays here refers to the object. So it is used to associate multiple instances of a same type of variables. And suppose if we have a number like 1 to 5, and if you want to store these values, then without array, we have to declare a variable for each of these values. And suppose if we have large numbers like 1 to 100, then is it possible that to declare the each variable for each element? So here array plays a vital role for declaring a single variable and storing the different values of a same type within a single variable. So this indicates that it's an array. We can have arrays of anything, like including the classes. We can have arrays of primitive or non-primitive type. Like primitive type refers to the integer, float, char, or non-primitive type refers to the like class, string, collection, interface, and array index starts from 0. As in every programming language, array always starts from the index 0. Suppose this is an array and we have the element like 1 to 5 inside the array, and this is the indexing of an array. So the total length of this array is 5, and the first index is 0 and the last index is 4. So as 0 to 4, the total length is 5. There are basically two types of array, one-dimensional array and multi-dimensional array. So in this video session, we will only cover about the one-dimensional array, and in next lecture video, we will discuss about the multi-dimensional array. So let's move to the one-dimensional array. General form of array declaration is, we can use any of these conventions. So the declaration syntax is, here we're gonna give the type of an array and the variable name, that is also considered as array name, and this big bracket indicates that it's an array. So here's the example. Int is a data type, and this means that it's an array of type integer, or you can also use this convention. Any of these can be used in order to declare the array in Java. So let's see how to create, initialize, and access the value of an array. So this is the declaration part. At first we have to declare the array. By only declaring the array, it does not mean that we have created an array, but this is only the reference of an array. So in order to provide the memory to an array, or in order to create an actual array, we have to instantiate the array as this. Using the new keyword, we allocate the memory to an array, and the size of an array is 5. So this is the instantiation of an array. This creates the actual array and allocates the memory. So only after the instantiation, the actual array is created. If we do this only, then it's only declare the array, and it simply means it's an reference to an array, but not the actual array is created. So if we combine the declaration and the instantiation part, we can achieve the array as, this is the declaration part and this is the instantiation part. So if we combine these both, then we can achieve this convention of an array. Or we can also use this convention, and if we know the actual elements of an array, then we can use the array literals like this in order to assign the elements to an array. Or you can even use this type of convention. So there are various conventions to be used. So we can use any of these convention as per the requirements. So after the declaration and instantiation, let's see how to access the elements of an array. In Java, array refers to the object So whenever the object is created, the object points an array like this, and we can access the elements of an array using the for or for each loop. So if we use the for loop, this is this basic syntax, and this gonna give the length of an array name dot length. This length is a method that is provided by Java in order to calculate the length of an array. So it simply returns the length of an array, and inside the for loop we simply print the value of an array. If we use the for each loop, and using the for each loop we can easily access the elements inside of an array. So this is the type and the variable, and this is the array name we have to give here. So using this for each loop, we can simply access the value in this variable, and we have printed here the elements of an array. So in order to understand the array practically, let's move to the NetBeans IDE. Let's open our NetBeans IDE. Let's create a project. Next, I'm gonna give here name as practice underscore 10. Let's remove out this comment, and I'm gonna rename my class name as one dimensional array. So let's move to the practical section of one dimensional array. At first, let's declare and instantiate the array int my integer array equals to new int, and I'm going to use the concept of the array literals, as I'm going to declare the elements here 1 2 3 4 5. So we have successfully declared and instantiated the array. Now in order to access these elements of an array, we can use for loop or for each loop. But before moving into the for loop or for each loop, let's see how these elements are stored in this variable and how to access it manually. So let's see integer array of 0. So if we print this array with the index 0, let's see here, we're gonna get the element as 1, as array always starts from index 0. So at first, at 0 index, first value of array is stored. So let's run this program. As you can see that it's giving me 1. Similarly, if we print the index of an array with 1, then it's gonna give me 2 as value. So at 0 index it's 1, and at index 1 its value 2. So let's use the concept of the for loop in order to access the element of an array. For int I equals to 0, I less than my integer array dot length I plus plus. So if we print the value of an array here as my integer array I, so if we run this program, we're gonna get all the elements that are in array 1 2 3 4 5. So this generally gives the length of this array. We can even print out and see what it's giving. I'm gonna simply copy this and paste it here. So let's see what the value we get as an length. So it's giving me 5. As there are 5 elements and array index always starts from 0. So 0 1 2 3 4. 0 to 4 means total length 5. So let's comment out this. So let's use the for each loop concept for int I is to my integer array I. So if we run this program, it's gonna give the same result. So in the for each loop, this is the type, and all the elements within this array are accessed using this variable, and we can simply use this variable to print. So I hope that you have got the basic concept about the one-dimensional array in Java. So in next lecture video, we're gonna cover about the multi-dimensional array in Java. So we will meet you in our next lecture video. Till then, goodbye.